Hey Taurus, it's your girl D here with 8th House Energy here to bring you your March 2021 Silent Enemies reading. I hope all is well in the Taurus community. I do want to thank you guys for your love and support, especially if you've been returning back to the channel to check me out. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Not only do I post for your Taurus placement weekly, I post for the other placements in your chart, and you definitely want to check those out so that you have an understanding of who you are as a complete individual, okay? This Silent Enemies reading is a reading that's designed to help you to pay more attention to your intuition via your intuitive nudges. We all have intuition, whether you realize it or not, or whether it's not active. But you know, you get that gut feeling sometimes like, damn, I knew I should have went that way, or something told me to go. That's your intuition. And, you know, that's a God-given gift. And the more you use it, the more you listen to it and follow it, you know, the happier you will be. Okay, the safer you will be. Okay, because your intuition can save you from all sorts of agony and despair and aggravation and loss. And it's important that we pay attention to our intuition, especially for the people closest to us, because that's the times that we ignore it the most, and that's the time that it goes off the most. So in order for you to get use of your intuition to you know, exercise that muscle, you definitely want to pay attention to it when it goes off around people that you deal with on a regular basis, and to help you distinguish between, is this a false alarm or is this something I should be concerned about? A false alarm is, you know, you get an intuitive nudge, your mom's acting really weird, you don't know why, right? Her attitude may have changed, things like that. So you may, you know, investigate by, hey, what's going on? You all right? You want to talk? And she may tell you, yeah, you know, a friend of hers that she knew for a while might be sick or in the hospital, and it might just be bringing her down. That's a false alarm, meaning that it's not something that's detrimental to your health, but at the same time, it's showing that someone around you may need your support. All right. Something that might be a little bit more detrimental to your well-being could be that you have a friend around you and you get a bad vibe about them. You don't understand why they respond the way they do towards you, why they act the way they do towards you, and you do some investigation and you find out that this person could be jealous of you. They're envious of you. They may want your wife or your husband, or they may be mad because you are financially stable, or they just don't like the way people receive your energy. So that's a negative, you know, but if you had not investigated and you may have just brushed it off like, oh, that's my homeboy or that's my homegirl, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, that could have saved you from this person maybe doing something as a result of their anger and their jealousy towards you, right? So I'm going to put 3 cards out. I'm going to look at them intuitively, and then I'm going to clarify them in the extended. Now keep in mind, a silent enemy could be a family member. It could be a lover. It could be a business partner. It could be your neighbor. It could be your barber. Anybody who's in your energy on a regular basis that you get an intuitive nudge about, especially if it's direct. It's not that you get an intuitive nudge about in general, but if it's something directly related to you. So for example, it could be somebody that you know but you don't know, and you get a bad vibe about them, like, yeah, I don't know what's up with this person, but I don't like them. As long as you're not doing business with them or dealing with them directly, you know, you don't have to investigate that nudge, you know, that intuitive nudge. You can just keep it as that, like, yeah, something's telling me something ain't right with that person. In those cases, you don't have to investigate, because that's not somebody that you deal with directly, okay? So we're talking about people you deal with directly. Get one more for Taurus. Wow, they don't want to give me a card for you. Okay, there we go. All right, Taurus. So we have the 9 of emotions in reverse, okay? That's the 9 of cups for those of you who are familiar with traditional tarot. And this is an energy of Pisces, okay? We have the 2 of inspiration that came out in reverse. That's the 2 of wands for traditional tarot. This is Aries energy. We have the 6 of swords that came out in reverse. That's the 6 of, well, in this deck, it's the 6 of voices, but it's Aquarius energy. Okay. So we don't have any major arcana, which is good. We don't have your opposite energy here, which is Scorpio, which is your shadow side. Okay. So this is usually going to be, so then this is telling me that this is people outside of you, external to you, that you need to be looking out for, because you could be your own worst enemy. All right. Like if we had Taurus energy here, I'd have to be like, okay, Taurus, you need to be careful of A, B, and C. Okay. Or if we had Scorpio, since Scorpio is the shadow side, is the opposite polarity of Taurus, then I may say, okay, you're into your shadow side and this is why. All right, so 9 of emotions in reverse. This is somebody who is disappointed in their connection with you. Okay, this could be a family member or a lover or a friend, because the emotions is cups. It deals with the love, how they feel for you. Now, I feel like they at one point really were happy with you, but I feel like things have changed and they're not letting you know directly, or maybe they have expressed it to you. Maybe you just didn't pay attention to them, or you could care less. Either they didn't express it to you, or they did and you could care less, or you just didn't notice, for whatever reason, or you brushed it off. But they're not happy emotionally. This could also be somebody who's around you who's very greedy, self-indulgent. You could be around somebody who just wants to use you for sex. Okay, is another thing here. If it's about a lover or a relationship, it's like this person just wants sex from you and that's all. If it's a friend or family here, it's they could be the same thing. They could be being greedy, just wanting what they can get from you, because this is what this 9 of emotions energy in reverse is about. It's about greed, hedonism, self-indulgence, a situation where somebody was once really happy and it was what they wanted, and now they no longer want it. So it's any of those scenarios here that you're dealing with. So pay attention to your if it's in a work environment here, it could be an employer who was happy with you in your work and for some reason now they're not. Okay, so pay attention to your surroundings. If you feel like there's something weird going on at your job, your boss is acting really weird, it could be because they're not happy with your performance. If it's a lover, it could be somebody who doesn't want anything serious. They don't want a serious connection. They just want intimacy with you, and that's it. Usually with this type of energy, it's somebody who may want to drink and party, and indulge. Maybe maybe your partner or your friends or a family member, they indulge too much in drinking, smoking, drugs, what have you. Okay, and your intuition could be going off about that. It could be a family member too. It could be any family member. Some of you, unfortunately, could be your child, a grown adult child. But kids do drugs at any age. But I'm not trying to focus on that. But I'm just telling you as an example. So some people out there could be having their children could be experiencing some issues with drinking or drugs. Okay, so those are the energies I'm getting with that 9 of Cups in reverse. Now the 2 of Wands in reverse. This is showing up as a silent enemy because I feel like you're not making a decision about something. I feel like you don't like your options, perhaps. You could be being really picky. The options that are presented to you, you feel like, okay, I don't want them. That's not what I want. I'm not going to make a decision. I refuse to make a decision. I refuse to take action is what I'm feeling here. And that is detrimental. Somebody's refusing to take action towards you or against you or with you. Which is putting you, this is going to put you in a position where you're going to suffer in some sort of way. They're refusing to include you in on something. I feel like somebody is purposely keeping you out of the loop. Because they're not happy with you. So they're keeping you out of the loop. They're not including you in events, family events, people gather. They're not telling you about stuff that's going on, especially if you're friends. It's like they're disassociating themselves with you. Maybe it's because you're going through a change or metamorphosis. You're going through an ascension process. And these people are mad at you. Maybe because you don't fuck around with them anymore. The 2 of Wands in reverse could be like, yeah, I don't deal with them anymore. And they could be pissed about that. Okay, because they may not understand that you've outgrown them and that you are no longer participating in the energies that they participated in. For some of you, it could have been that you were dealing with people who like to party and drink and smoke all the time and in excess, because that's what the Nine of Cups in reverse is. And you don't want to do that anymore. You're not interested in it anymore. So they're like, oh, you brand new now? That type of energy. Because they're still doing the same things and you've outgrown it, and it's just like, I'm not into that anymore. That's not, I don't mind hanging out, having drinks, and but I feel like this here represents excess, doing it all the time in overdrive, like hardcore. And I feel like for some of you, you're like, nah, I don't want to deal with them anymore, nor do I want to deal with them anymore. And so people are pissed at you because of that. Okay. If this is about cutting off friends that you've outgrown, that could be it. If this is about family members that you have maybe allowed to make decisions in your life and it got to the point where they're out of hand. So like it could be a mother who's just too in the business and you had to cut her back. It could be a child who's too dependent upon you, a grown child who's too dependent on you and you had to cut back. Like, I don't got it. I can't. You're going to have to figure it out. But I feel like this is an energy of you stepping back saying, you know what, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want this anymore. It's not for me. I'm out type of energy. And whoever you're doing that to or saying that to, they don't like it. They don't like it at all. So this is why they're showing up. This is why this is showing up as a silent enemy. It could be travel plans too. Maybe you won't come see them. You refuse to come see them. You refuse to visit them. You may have moved and they can't find you and they don't know where to locate you. Yeah, they don't like that. Now with the Six of Swords in reverse, this is an energy of somebody feeling that you have them stuck. Now all of this could be related. It could be all, it could be parts of it related to each other. It could just be three separate situations. But when the Six of Swords shows up in reverse here as a silent enemy, I feel like somebody's trying to keep you stuck. So it could be these people that you decided to cut off. You've outgrown these things that, you were doing. Okay, because Saturn, Saturn comes in and says, hey, where's Saturn? Saturn's in Aquarius right now, right? Yeah. So it's like you're outgrowing certain friends. People that you've associated with, the way you associated, the partying, the drinking, the smoking, the excess men or the excess women or, the orgies or whatever. That's what this Nine of Cups in reverse could represent. All right. You participating in those types of behaviors and activities were detrimental to you. So for some of you, you're like, nah, I'm not with it anymore. And you stop hanging around certain people who did that type of stuff or who were involved in that type of stuff. All right. And so these people are pissed and they don't want you to excel. They want you to stay where they are and participate in what they've been participating in and continue. They don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see your growth or your evolution. They don't want to hear that shit. So a lot of them are looking at you resentful. Like, who are you? You think you're better than me now? Or you think you all that now? You ain't going nowhere. So they may do things to try to sabotage your situation, especially if it's family members, where they had a lot of control and say over what you did, and now you're cutting that back from them. They could be feeling some sort of way. All kinds of stuff going on in reference to that. If this is work, I feel like your boss may not want to give you a promotion, or they may not want to give you a position for whatever reason. Yeah, because see, if you look at this card, the saddle is here. But the woman's hand is extended out to help this person get from over here to over here. In reverse, these people don't want to help you. They want you to stay stuck. Okay? So it could be your employer or your employee. Okay? Say you have somebody who works for you and they're disgruntled. So they may give you a difficult time. They may come in late. They may half-ass do their job, that type of thing, if it's on the business tip. Or if it's a boss that you work for, You know, they're being very difficult about what you're doing, how you're doing it. They may be telling you one thing, but then they're doing something else or saying something else, trying to trip you up, you know, to make it look like you don't know what you're doing so they could try to set you up to get you fired, or so that you don't get a promotion, or you don't get a raise, some bullshit like that. If this is about friends, because for a lot of you, you're outgrowing a lot of your friends, you've outgrown them already. They're trying to keep you stuck. So, you know, people that you used to, you know, hey, could you give me a ride? And they maybe give you, now they don't want to no more. Or they just do little shit to try to keep you around. It's like you may have wanted to move off and be in a relationship, and you may have been having a bunch of single friends, okay? And you can't party with them anymore now because you've decided, hey, I want to be with someone, I want to chill with this person. So you have to cut all that out. So what they're trying to do is they'll be like, come on, let's go out one more time. Let's go, come on, we could do this one last, that type of thing. And you're like, nah, I told you, I'm not with that no more. I'm not doing that no more. One time ain't gonna kill you. She ain't gonna be mad, or he ain't gonna get mad. He won't even know. She won't even know. Meanwhile, they're trying to bring you to this party so you can have sex with other people. Like, that's an example, okay? Because we're dealing with this Nine of Cups in reverse, which deals with hedonism. All right, so it could be that. All right, family members, you know, they could be mad at you because you're not dealing with who they don't want you to deal with, or who they want you to deal with. You know, you could have like somebody like a mother who, you know, it reminds me of K Solo, your mom's in my business. Tell your moms to mind our business, or tell your moms to mind her business, right? You can't even have a relationship without your mom being all in the business, telling you what you should be doing and who you should be doing it with. And you know, and that could be part of your fault too, because you could have been telling your mom too much, and now you realize I got to cut that out. So, you know, your mom asking you questions, now you're like, you know, very tight-lipped about it, not saying anything. And they're pissed, so they retaliate in little ways, like, oh, I'm not cooking, I ain't cooked today, you know what I mean, type of thing. Or, you know, just something like that, where they're just, you know, they're not happy with your decision, and so they're trying to do things to get you to revert back to what they liked you to do, or who they knew you as. That type of energy. If this is a lover, this is somebody who don't want to let you go. They could be doing all sorts of things to try to keep you around, try to get you drunk, get you pregnant, get you drunk, get pregnant by you. Anything to keep you from moving on, because you may not want to be with them anymore. This could have been a situation where you were happy with this person. Now with the Nine of Cups reverse, you're not. It was everything you wanted, but time has changed now. You've outgrown this connection. So this person don't like that. They don't like it. They simply do not like it. So this is what you're dealing with as far as your people around you, is the changes that you're going through, the ascension process you're going through, and how people are trying to sabotage that. So Taurus, this is what I got for you for your Silent Enemies reading. If this resonated at all, feel free to click the like button. If you want to leave a comment on reference to how it resonates, please feel free to do so. That's what the comments are there for. I love to read the comments. Other than that, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to check your other placements. All right. The link to the extended is in the box below, as well as my contact information and the type of readings I offer, should you want something personalized for you. I will see you in the extended, Taurus. If not, I will hit you up in the next reading. Peace out, Taurus.